It should be streaming now.
So you can go up and click on youtube.com.
That's my dashboard. Live streaming checklist, 608, hold on, upload, no, status page. I mean, let's go to the dashboard. Yes, leave the page. Oh, there it is, right there. How do we? Alright, hold on. Trying to click on. Oh, alright, so now we're out altogether. Was that just the URL? I think it was. There it is. So,
do you have a thumb drive?
Pardon?
Do you have a thumb drive?
I don't know, sorry. So we're now streaming. Stream options. No, Clayton live streams.
And then you just leave this here.
Yeah, he was supposed to send me a list of instructions that never actually happened. I mean, I know he's on vacation. Let me go to my channel. How did you find it? So I can, and there's no password, right? So and there's no
Yeah, I got my other computer. I'll get her. I'll be able to raise it.
Do you want the speakers, by the way?
Okay. Is it PowerPoint or what is it?
Mark, would you give her those speakers, please?
Who's this?
I'm just refreshing. Alright.
I got Bluetooth.
Is that what I want? It's alright.
Let me see that.
Perfect.
Should we start from the end?
Yeah, I gotta check something. Yeah, that's
Alright, that's done. So, we are on.
Come to work, please.
Okay, in the interest of using time effectively, we're going to start the meeting while the AV stuff is still in progress, which is okay. We'll do the usual welcomes and introductions. Today's presentation by Lindsay on climbing in Morocco. So the question today is climbing in exotic foreign countries? Hell yeah, I'll climb there, or nope, I'm staying where there's local facilities. Mark Mayer, well, I guess I have climbed in exotic foreign countries before, and it was kind of good. So yeah, I guess I would have to answer, sure, I'll do it. It was fun. Yeah. And I'm the Patsy Chair. Let's go around this way this time. Siobhan.
Hi, I'm Siobhan. I'm the secretary. The question was, would I climb
Climbing in exotic foreign countries, yes or no?
I'd be down for it. So far, I've only climbed in a gym in Singapore.
Okay.
That seems exotic. Pretty exotic.
Greg?
Greg Verstaplich. I climbed overseas when I was younger and dumber. If I could do it again, I would do Mount Kenya. That was cool.
Mm-hmm. Did you do it or not do it?
I did it.
You did it.
I'd like to do it again, but that's...
Okay.
I'm Carol Clayton, and yeah, I've climbed pretty much anywhere, as you guys, some of you know.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm Jade. Hello. And yeah, I mean, why not? It's different, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm Jeanette. I've climbed in many foreign countries, all over Europe, practically many countries. And 2 weeks ago, I was in Croatia, and climbed in Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro, and climbed in Laos and Thailand. And I highly recommend it. It's a lot of, usually, I mean, you can get good guides everywhere. Sort of in Laos, I remember we found Tex. You know, we found this guy, Tex, and it was wonderful. This is Tex. It's great. You can make it work any place you go. So for us, we always try to plan a climbing part. You know, we have to get a guide. Sometimes we carry ropes and sometimes we don't.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. I will climb in foreign countries. Why not? Mountains, rock. So far, I've only done climbing in Iceland, which is awesome.
Thailand and from foreign countries. And I love traveling, so yes, Thailand, foreign countries.
So do you climb here? Is that what counts?
Yeah, that was boring for me here or something.
Yeah.
For sure it's weird.
There's less support groups here, so it's
Elliot.
Yes, I'm Elliot, and I have climbed in foreign countries, and I hope to do it again.
Well, I'm Simon, I'm obviously a foreigner. So I don't get to say any more, but actually I've climbed about 15 countries.
I'm Corey. I haven't climbed any foreign countries, but I definitely get for it.
Okay.
I'm Chris, I'm one of the Gearmeisters. I support climbing in foreign countries, and have done so a couple times.
I'm Leslie. Same. The only thing I hate is having to check a bag. Having to check a bag.
My name is Phil, and I go to New Zealand every year, and I usually do climbing in back country, so I'm all in favor of international holy pass to
I'm Matt, and sign me up.
All right.
I'm Bill, the vice chair. I've never been rock climbing in a foreign country, but I've done a lot of mountaineering in a foreign country, so yeah.
I'm James. Don't know about going to exotic places, but I've climbed in Canada. I'd be interested in going to exotic places.
Doesn't that count as a foreign country?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I have the same thought.
It's like, it's close.
So if you ask a Canadian, you'll be no doubt about it.
Lindsay, you want to introduce yourself?
Well, since I've presented here a couple times on my foreign country climbing, I'm assuming that, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And our host, Dave?
I did not get the question. What was it?
Climbing in foreign countries. Hell yeah or no way?
Hell yeah.
All right.
What's the worst that can happen?
Okay, Let's start. We're going to do we'll do a couple business things while Dave and Lindsay are settling the AV. Our objective to provide the opportunity for group enjoyment of mountaineering and related activities, to train interested people in mountaineering techniques, to provide public service through specialized mountaineering techniques, and to foster the conduct of these activities in a safe manner. Treasurer's report.
We're checking the streaming.
Oh, that's kind of
it's
that's a pretty good delay. All right.
There's a delay.
Okay, Jay?
Yeah, we have the balance is 19,123, so we'll spend some money.
Okay. Are we okay with the Patsy Treasurer? Have we submitted documents to them, and do they have anything else to complain about?
They don't have any complaints. They just wanted to know what did we spend and why are we spending them.
All right. Let's see. Let's talk about past activities. What happened at the last first Wednesday?
The last one, I think, kind of got rained out.
Was last week?
A little bit, yeah. I don't think it had a huge attendance. I don't think anyone was here that facilitated it.
Okay.
So yeah, that was. But I think overall, all of the first Wednesdays had pretty good attendance.
Okay. So I was going to ask, those who have been to a bunch of them, are we happy with how it worked out? I mean, it was a new thing this year. I thought it was an interesting idea, a good initiative. Which, for those of you who've been in assessment, did it work well? Did the new folks mostly show up for first Wednesday rather than other random Wednesdays? Did it give us a more controlled environment for having newbies show up?
Well, I just say we showed up as the first Wednesday,
Okay.
even though we've been in the club for several years, and then we went to another couple after. So that was an anecdote for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a good format, especially having the clinics. This is a very good kind of structured, here's something we're going to focus on this month. And just kind of adding it to your skill set, whether or not you've had experience with whatever Marty's teaching that month, or if it's completely new to you.
All right. Otherwise, I don't know who's been to a lot of them, but I don't know, Bill, if you were to most of them.
Yeah, I went to a couple early on, you know, and it seemed to be a high population of first-time outdoor climbers. So I think that's what we were gearing towards. Most of the people, I know Doug Alexander showed a lot of interest in running it. Sort of, he kind of just became kind of the pseudo leader of that event. On his own accord, on his own interest, you know, as far as making sure everyone had waivers, making sure everyone was belaying properly, making sure all the anchors were set properly. I mean, he was a great steward for that. So for the other Carter Rocks, I think it still kind of had that new person population people showing up there. You know, because they would go to first Wednesdays, and then the club members are like, yeah, we do this every week. You know, so which is naturally going to happen. So, but I think overall, I mean, from what I heard from my witness, I thought.
So, I mean, I think if people are coming to the other ones, it's a good thing. I just was hoping that after they come to the first one, it would be a more self-sufficient crowd showing up at the subsequent ones.
Yeah, and I think some people were, you know, like one or two people, you know, they did show up with ropes eventually, and things like that. So, but not all participants did, because I think there's really a few of them.
Okay, graffiti cleanup. Did anybody here go? Jade, how was it?
It was a lot of people actually show up. I think we have like 30 people show up.
Okay.
And we all went down from Difficult Run. There's a little trail, and we walk about half a mile to a mile away. And there is a lot of graffiti. It was a lot. So yeah, we were there scrubbing. It's a lot of scrubbing.
Did it work well?
Some of them works really well. The more you sit and let the solution do its work, it's easier to come out. Some of them, because it was so big, and I guess it didn't sit long enough, so I would say, yeah, most of them came out, but some of them just did not, so we probably have to go back for some more.
Did the Park Service bring a power washer?
Oh yeah, a little tiny one. Yeah.
Okay.
The battery operated one.
Yeah.
So we use the water from the river,
Uh-huh.
spray, and then we have to collect the water a little bit.
Yeah. Did it work? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Good.
But we have to scrub.
Okay. I know there's a couple things going on around Columbus Day. Some of you went to Red River Gorge. There was the American Alpine Club event out at Seneca. Any attendance reports? The Red, yes?
Lindsay and Andy and Corey and I went to the Red.
Yes.
Lindsay and I had 2 days of fabulous
Things
fun.
are sandbagged.
Thank you, sandbag hurt. It poured rain starting the middle of the night on Saturday and rained out Sunday and Monday. It was also Rocktober.
Yeah.
And it seemed like things were pretty packed, but beautiful climbing area. Lots of sport, lots of trad.
Okay. Good. Was anybody at the American Alpine Club event in Seneca? Okay. All right. Cragen Classic was a week or two before at New River. I was there. Anybody else here? Dave was there. It was good.
Yeah.
The weather was nice. The weather held up pretty much for the whole time, so a lot of climbing happened. Seminars were pretty good. I thought it was better organized this year than last time. At least we got fed. There was enough food for everybody, and yeah, there seemed to be like enough food, and the campground was really crowded, but it seemed to be at least a little bit more organized in its crowdedness than it was beforehand. So, other trips, and the dyno competition was pretty exciting. That was well put together.
Did either of you win it?
Yeah.
Second and third.
Any other trips to report?
Old Rag is beautiful.
Oh, Old Rag. Okay, and where did you go on Old Rag?
Went to the Sunset Bowl.
Okay. I saw there's a couple of trips that have gone up to Old Rag on the summit area, which is probably a good choice this time of year. I heard a report that there's bad bolts up there.
At the summit area?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if there are any bolts at the summit area.
It's the Sunset Wall.
Sunset Wall?
Sunset Wall does have bad bolts. Sunset Wall definitely has some bad bolts.
Okay.
A lot of them are pretty rusty. We used a couple. We definitely didn't want to weight them too much to take falls on them.
Okay.
So maybe we get something together to replace them at some point would be a worthy cause. Because some of them probably haven't been replaced since they were put up there.
Okay. All right, we can talk about that. I was going to bring that up as an item a little later. Let's see. Yesterday was Patsy Council. Nothing of particular note was going on at Patsy. Excuse me?
Family Day.
Oh, Family Day. Sorry, I missed that. Yes, how was Family Day?
It was good. It was really well attended. We thought for the first hour nobody would come, and then tons of people showed up.
Okay.
And we had lots of kids on ropes and
All right.
having a good time. One adult who had, conquered her fears going up a 5-1, so that was good.
Okay.
It was well attended.
All right, good. Let's see. Anything else? Yes? Okay. Let's see. Patsy Council, I think nothing of particular note happened the other day. I do know that they were doing a lot of budget stuff. Because they passed an IRS threshold this year, their budget process and reporting process got much more complicated, which is why they've been bugging us about our financials, because they're now subject to a different level of audit than had previously been the case. How are we doing on the show?
Maybe you want to just go with it?
I didn't figure out what word Lindsay, can you stand?
That's
so
okay, you can
the
take a couple-
people that
take a
are
couple
watching
minutes.
the stream can see you and what you're showing?
Take a couple of minutes. Let's see. Let's talk about upcoming events. Bill.
Upcoming events, October 21 and 22, we've got the chili cook-off out in Seneca. We've got, how many campsites?
3 walk-ins, right?
Walk-in campsites, yeah. So probably fit like what, 10 people?
10 to 15, depending on if anybody wants. If people are going to double up on tents, we could probably get 15 in there, but otherwise it's probably 10 at the best. As I recall, 2 doubles and a single?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're looking for people for that, aren't we?
Yeah, triple. Let's do it.
Okay. Did we open it up for signups?
Yep,
Yes.
2%, 2%.
And how many are signed up?
Last I checked, I think only 2.
Yeah.
Okay. we ought to figure out who, if any of those makes an appropriate, because we should have a leader for the trip, but, yes.
Last year, we rented a cabin in Yoga,
Right.
45, and that was very successful. Price sleeps about 5, 6, and then people on the floor. So if anybody is interested in that, you know, maybe let me know, Jeanette. And it, you know, it was fairly, when you divide it up, it's pretty, it's very comfortable because of the short days, and you know, it's really cool.
And it was dry. It was very dry.
Dry compared to outside. Yes. Okay, next.
The Red Rock Strip, Carol, you wanna?
We have 7 people in the Airbnb. There should be, I think we might have one whole person by putting 2 people who will be there at different times there, so the Airbnb is full.
Okay.
The weather still looks good.
Okay.
By the way, if anybody wants to come, United had a fare for $112 round trip today, and it was both nonstop and really good times. I unfortunately have already booked my fares, my flights, but if you have like a last minute hankering, we could probably figure out how to wedge you into the house. So, and if there are enough people that want to do it, we can just rent another place. So.
Yeah, that would have to, well, so I want to talk about so where are we in the financials on that? If we have 2 people splitting one, are we up to full
If we
now?
have 2 people splitting, we're up to full.
Okay, and so where does that leave us in terms of money?
It's a wash.
It's a wash.
It's
Okay,
paid.
fine. All right. Okay, so that's good.
Or maybe it's $25 over.
Yeah, okay.
But
So
essentially it's.
what I was saying with Jade was that the normal policy on a trip like this is we would certainly put the usual, you know, up to 300 toward a campsite or meals, and so if we have to if we have to do the Airbnb that way, that's fine. I think if it's more than that, then we should be looking at people should have paid in advance already, so we should be okay.
Right.
All right, Bill?
The Cove, we're thinking about doing a trip out there November 4th and 5th. Is that the date we talked about?
Let's ask Andy, yes? Andy?
Yeah, you get it down?
Yeah. I mean, it's, yeah, the 4th and the 5th, if, kind of just get a number, I didn't know today about that, if we, I guess, give a guesstimate or something to Willis and Dan, we can kind of start working from there and see what we're talking about as far as costs or anything like that.
So if we're
It is
gonna,
practical.
what's it gonna cost us to do a Cove trip?
I don't know without, I need to get some kind of, I mean, we talk about like 15 people, or we talk about like 30 people?
I would guess maybe more like 15 than 30.
Okay. Well, let me get with him then and see what he thinks. I mean, it's you know, as it is, it's a private campground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually a really good deal that they're going to give us on something like this. That, you know, range of $5 a day or something like that.
Yeah.
You want a day trip? That's fine. Stay at night. That's fine.
I think it'd be good. So why don't you say a few words about what the Cove is?
Okay. So yeah, it's privately owned campground. A couple of my friends have out past Winchester, Virginia. It's about a 3,000 acre campground that they have. And there's pretty nice cliff line, same kind of, you know, just for a port site, current port site, similar to Seneca, but not nearly as like, you know, riddled with cracks and stuff. So it's mostly, you know, places to go so far. Some sport needs for anyone drill, we have the time to do that, and then just like it's been a lot of cleaning and clearing that happened in the past couple of years. And with all the work that we've done, we've actually had a couple of leaders come in there, basically taking advantage of what we've done. So they've been able to just top rope a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff set up with top ropes. There's a number of 2-bolt anchors that we've set. There's still at least 2 or 3 lines that I've put in 2-bolt anchors, but need to go and put in the route bolts for, or finish putting the route bolts for. Last one I got 3rd bolt and ran out of juice halfway through drilling the bolts, so it's like, you know, all right, well, come back there. So yeah, I mean, all together, you know, you've got a couple of good days worth of stuff. You want, basically, it's like you want to come out to a new place and help clean it up a little bit, scrub some stuff. It's really 4 hours. There are some really fun stuff in it. I know Simon's been out there. Have you been out there yet, Mark, or no?
No.
Okay. Simon's been out there. I know.
I've been here 3 times.
Yeah. They've had I think some pretty good fun out there. There's some nice steep slab routes. And, you know, it's a cool different little place. Not even amazingly spectacular or anything, but it's cool. And it's a nice setting. You know, it's a nice. You're up above the lake and everything like that. So, and if you can't, you got full access to everything else that's out there. So, in all honesty, if you wanted to say climb one day and bring your mountain bike, there's miles and miles of trails to ride out there. So you can do that or hike or whatever. So there's tons of stuff you could do. I'd say it's probably a little cold this week, but summertime we can certainly do that.
The other thing I want to point out about this is that if we do continue if we start going there, we do continue development there, starting with this first trip, it would be an opportunity, for example, for people to learn how to put in bolts.
Yeah.
Which might be useful on a lot of scores, in part just because it'll help, and I'll have more people who know how to maintain some of the bolts and routes. You know, we know, for example, Old Rag could use some refreshment. There's probably other places that could use some bolt refreshment. Also, I think the area, from what I've heard, would also be conducive to other kinds of clinic sorts of activities, because you have solid anchors above the ground, a good place for self-rescue drills, guide drills, learning to haul, other kinds of activities that are, where a place that's like that is easier to do than trying to do it in a busy place like Seneca where it's not really set up.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's definitely got some steep faces, some of the stuff we're talking is only, in the probably 40 to 60 foot range at max, but what is there in most cases is pretty steep. A lot of slopers, a lot of stuff where you reach over kind of a sloper and just get like a little bit of an edge. So it's a different kind of interesting kind of climbing kind of rock. But yeah, exactly what you said. We can kind of, because of the relationship we have, we can kind of develop a lot of the stuff however we see fit. So would be no problem, in other words, for us to put in a 2-bolt anchor 5 feet off the ground in order to use that as a training station for cleaning sport anchors.
Right.
And have people just run through that drill.
Or maybe 25 feet off the ground and use it for self-rescue
you already got that. Yeah, you already
chugging.
Yeah, you can do any of that off any of the anchors. And there's plenty of good stations where there's actually a couple I know of that have like a decent platform and then the 2-bolt anchors right above. So it's almost like being on a ledge of a big wall. You'd be able to practice setting up a wall or doing the whole rigging of the pig and everything. So yeah, if people want to come out, then I think that'd be. I'll be bolting side and no problem going through that process. Bring out the hand drill stuff too.
Okay. So put that on your calendars. I think that I'd like to get that on the site, see if we get good sign-ups. I think that would be an excellent thing we could start this year and maybe extend in future years as part of our training and development activities.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if it ends up becoming a regular place too. It's pretty good traffic from us. I think there's a lot of potential there. I mean, I don't know, maybe we probably do maybe 30 routes or so in there, somewhere around the ballpark. There's potential for, 150.
Okay.
200.
Wow.
Ballpark,
All right.
And Patsy guidebook.
Yes, another Patsy guidebook.
Yeah, just needs to be, cleaned out.
Yeah.
Out, all that stuff.
Right. Next up, Bill.
November 4th, 5th was the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
First weekend in November.
Next up, we've got Alpine Skills Weekend, January 11th and 15th. Registration went live on October 3rd, I believe, and it filled up in about 30 minutes. So we've got 13 participants. I think they were all waiting at 10 a.m. to register. We've got, as of right now, we've got 10 people on the wait list, so pretty popular trip.
Yeah.
So that's, we've got 5 leaders going up.
Okay.
So we've got 12 people that are going to camp and 6 that are going to stay inside cabins.
I know we don't have any slack on cabin. Do we have any slack on being able to take more people who would camp?
We can, as long as we got tent space.
If we have tents.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, yeah, we can put people up there.
Okay.
As long as we got a place to put them.
So you might want to inform people on the wait list that if if they can supply adequate camping equipment, that we could probably take some people off the wait list.
And some people are right now, because people are just kind of figuring out their gear and everything.
Yeah.
Some people have emails saying that they're going to bring a tent.
Okay.
So once we kind of finalize just what we have, then we can easily open up more people.
Okay.
To,
Excellent.
To include them on that.
Right. Greg.
I've been texted by Vinny to remind everyone about Array.
Okay.
And the dates are going to be January 23rd to February 1st. It's going to be the best ice climbing ever. It's not like the Adirondacks.
Ever?
Ever.
Okay.
Because I've been spoiled. And you've been spoiled.
I've been spoiled too, yeah.
It's 20s, 30s, none of this sub-zero stuff, you know. You go 15-minute walk back to the motel, change, get in the hot tub, you know, look at the cliffs. Vinny, am I missing anything? He's harassing me.
It was pretty cold one morning.
One morning, yeah, but you had to take your vapor barrier, your socks off.
I did, yes. Not
so it wasn't that cold.
It wasn't that cold.
So crampons on your flip-flops, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, you can't do that.
Okay, speaking of more ice.
I just lost it.
23rd to the 1st.
Yeah, 23rd to the 1st.
Okay.
We stay at the Comfort Inn.
So the way to do this, by the way, is this is, you know, I don't know, it's a quasi-official club trip. You make your own arrangements. The recommendation would be get a room at the Comfort Inn.
Yeah.
If you're staying, what is it, at least 5 nights, they'll shuttle you from the airport.
Yeah.
You know, you go to the airport at, what is it, Montrose?
Right, you fly into Montrose.
Montrose, they'll give you a shuttle from the airport. You don't really need a car except to go to Telluride because you can walk to the ice climbs, you can walk to the grocery store, you can walk to the restaurants.
Yeah. And when they pick you up, they usually stop at the supermarket if you want to load up on food on the way in. So it's, and beer and booze, whatever.
The staples.
All the essentials.
Dax or Conway House? Have we gotten anywhere on that?
Not yet, no,
Okay.
but I have, well, actually I looked in both places, and for a house the size that you want for the length of time, it's way out of our budget. So I just feel I have to dig deeper and find some different kinds of places.
Okay. All right. I guess we got to talk about that with Dave Cease a little more.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's up next?
The remaining monthly meetings.
Okay.
Next month is going to be our annual gear swap. So those of you that are unfamiliar, just any unused or used gear that you got to get rid of, come and trade it, sell it, give it away, whatever you want. Most people, I believe last year, put out something on the listserv that day or that week saying, hey, I've got this for sale, it's going to be a gear swap. So if you've got some old gear that you want to get rid of, that's a good place to do it. Also, that's going to be our kind of our winter transition / prep presentation. Andy's going to do some stuff on ice tools and kind of get those ready for the winter. I'm going to talk about boots and crampons, and maybe there's time some other winter clothing and gear and stuff.
And Gear Meisters will fit boots and crampons, right? So if you're thinking you're going to borrow something from the club, this is the time to get fitted.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and have all the participants on Alpine Skills there as well to take advantage of that.
That'll be at Patsy.
Patsy.
Yep.
December we've got a holiday party at the Jane Walton Center. I think that's all paid for and everything. I think we're just waiting on someone to organize and.
Yep, 16th, and we have at least a nominal group to start working on it. We should discuss that if we can today. Let's see, next up, January.
January, that's our annual meeting where we do elections. So that's where we got like
Are you in the running again? Are you in the running again?
I would plan to run again, yes.
It will be an honor to have you once again as our.
Okay, and I just want to point out, I don't know how, we don't have a schedule for, we do not have a schedule yet for presentations, but there's a lot of stuff on the backlog. The Alpine Loud guys should be back, and we'd like to have them. People who have done a wilderness first responder with us should be doing some programs. We're going to try to set that up. We get the Moose's Tooth guys who had an expedition grant. We've had offers from a couple other things. I think, Lindsay, you were offering one.
Oh yeah, we talked about climbing in Iceland.
Yep, we got Iceland. Doug Hallinan biked about 3/4 of the way across the country. He offered to show his pictures on that. That's not quite climbing, but it's kind of interesting. So, let's see. So, are you ready to go, Lindsay?
Sure, why not?
Okay. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lindsay Rohrbaugh, who is going to do the presentation tonight about climbing in Morocco.
No.
Which sounds pretty neat. So take it away, please.
5-minute break.
Sure, 5-minute round.
Oh my God. It's going to log out again, so we'll log back.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, start.
I know.
Wait.
No, seriously. It's not a complicated password.
No, I like to start. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All the way through.
All right, so let's get this over with. All right. So in 2016, in September, I went climbing in Morocco in a little town called Tafrout. So it's actually in the Anti-Atlas. So it's not where a lot of the other big climbing is. My guide was with the mountain people, so this is a link if you ever happen to want to go climbing in Morocco. His name was James Sniffen. He's actually from Sacramento, but he lives in the UK and he has a British accent, which is strange, but nice guy. He's 33 years old, so we had a lot to talk about. So there's 2 volumes of climbing in Morocco around the Anti-Atlas, so there's a lot of climbing down there, but a lot more to be developed too. So highly recommend it. So I did a couple days on either side. So I met James in Marrakesh, so I left Casablanca. I flew into Casablanca, took the train, not the Marrakesh Express, down to Marrakesh where I met James, and we gathered our rations for a few days and made a 6.5-hour drive down to Tafrout. So that was pretty much a shot day at that point. Found like the one hotel that had cheap rooms available, so that's where we stayed for a few days. So the first day of climbing was on September 20th on the south side of the Anti-Atlas. So this was my first glimpse walking up to the south side. It's like, wow, that's a lot of rock. So just some sights along the way, some cacti, some donkey, and then all this scree path going up to it. So it's very common. And there's a lot of walk-offs too from climbs. So it's very much like Yosemite where you have to walk off. It's like another climbing adventure altogether. So the first climb I did was, I think this was it. I don't know. I don't really remember. I didn't write it down very well, but was Salas. So it was kind of a corner, a little dirty. Obviously, things aren't climbed very much there, but they're still considered classics. And I'm guessing that means they were climbed like a handful of times. But so anyway, we started on this. It was kind of a dirty little corner, but it was fun. Had some fun moves up it. Corner cracked, so it was all good. So yeah, you can see kind of like a little bit of vegetation happening down. Where the ropes are. But there was a fixed piece in there. I spent quite some time trying to get out and get into it. So you see a lot of fixed pieces in there, and the gear, like the rock just holds it. There's no getting it out. And I tried like 5 times. So then there's this wall here. So it's called the Tezouk buttress area. So there's a bunch of different climbs. A lot of them were dihedrals, corners, cracks. So just coming from Yosemite, it was all about climbing the cracks. So let's climb the cracks. So that's kind of what we aimed for. And again, I don't remember exactly which climbs we did. I think we did the crack climb, number 9, and then something else on there looked like a dihedral, and it ended up being pretty dirty and very, very chossy pieces coming up. So it wasn't the best climb, even though it probably was one of the ones with the star next to it, but like I said,
Star means it's more fun.
star means adventure climbing, something, I don't know. It means it's been climbed, probably, not just taking a picture of like, that looks cool. So yeah, this is like one of the The dihedral over here was the one I said was kind of dirty and a little like, whoa, what's happening here? But the left one, on the far left, that's the crack climb that we did. So that was pretty exciting. I took a few videos of things as we went up just to kind of show how things were. So this is the sun that was hitting there on the crack climb. It was fun. It was fun. So yeah, that's the top of the crack climb there. So it's a pretty long climb. It was just one pitch though. We were using doubles though, just because we never know what's going to happen out there. But so this is one of the videos. Sorry, I have to go back and forth because Macs don't seem to work with this.
Finishing the third pitch of a very classic climb.
This is where, I think Dave left.
He did.
But yeah, I would. So, let's do that. See if that works.
We are finishing the third pitch of a very classic climb here in Tough Route. And it's a crack! Yay! I'm excited. My guide James from the UK is up there, setting the anchor. So this area is called Tizgut. I don't speak Arabic. My apologies. And then there's this route here on the side. We'd like to go up next. Over there is Tough Route Morocco, where we are staying.
It's a little town in the background. Not a very big town.
And it is a very, very gorgeous day here. And I'm in Morocco. So on this side, rock is quartzite. Not as good a friction as granite, but hey, I'm climbing in Morocco. We are on waterfalls up there, which is in Boston.
So yeah, that was exciting.
What kind of rock?
Quartzite? You not listening? Jesus. I feel like you've got yeah, sorry for all the back and forth. Yeah. So anyway, that was our fun first day. We had a lot of sun, good weather. So considered that a win. So the next day we went to the north side of the Anti-Atlas. I actually enjoyed this better. It seemed a little less chossy. It was a little bit of rain on the way out there, but then it cleared up to be actually a nice day. The sun wasn't beating down on you as much.
Is that the town in that picture?
That's just, well, no, there's not really a town. This is like on the opposite side of where Tough Route was, so it wasn't really in the town. This is just kind of like
suburbs.
Yeah, the three home suburbs. It's big family home. That's actually we went and climbed on that side
later in the day, so I'll have pictures of that. But it was actually just like a family's house and like the big courtyards, and the women and the children are out there, and this child like pointing up and screaming something at me. And I don't really thought I knew what he was saying, but I realized he's speaking Arabic. I have no idea what he's saying. But it's probably like there's crazy people climbing on the rock, and it's just, he kept screaming something, but it was entertaining while I was playing. So we started on this side though, which was Czar Rock, and this one was actually really fun. We did some, I forget how many pitches it was, but it was over 4 pitches probably, but it was moderate climbing. We got to the top and saw this nice view again of that little tiny suburb there, single roads. And so this is the climb here again. I think maybe it was Jedi Groove, linking this climb Sahara up with Jedi Groove, which is, they're both like HVS 4 or something, which I don't know, I forget what that means exactly.
Is that the 4C? Is that the French grades, right?
No, it's English grade.
Yeah.
You add to each of the French grade.
Okay. Yeah. It was climbable, so something I didn't have to struggle up, so it was fun. So this is like one of the corners I was going up to. So yeah, you can see again there's a lot of chalks on there, but there was some nice rock. There was actually a really cool overhang on this climb, which was actually probably the hardest part of the climb. I didn't know if I was going to make it up that one, but I did. So again, getting higher up, seeing the nicer views, and success. We made it, but then we had the Yosemite walk off, and that took like about another hour to get back down. Oh God, not this again. Dave, where did you go? Just the top of that climb. So, kind of looks like Mars a little bit. Oh, you get to the top and you just like walk around up there. It's not even like real peak. It's mountains everywhere. So this is the other side that we did there where the child was waving at us the entire time. This I actually felt like was almost granite climbing. It stuck really well. And I wish I had actually tried to lead this climb, but every time I wanted to lead something and he offered me to, I'd be following and a piece would come off my hand and I'd be like, get out. I don't need that. I have a whole other 3 weeks after this, so I don't need that. So yeah, that's the view from where we had just climbed before, from the opposite side now. So it's really classic crag there, Czar Rock. Just some pictures from that. Near the top, having to kind of look around boulders and everything, and then the view from the top, and I think that's why I was staring at the child, not really, still trying to understand what he was saying, but slinging boulders for anchors, so, and that was just so we could kind of like come around, because there's kind of like a deep hole in the center, so if you kind of just didn't anchor and you tried to step over, you might fall down. And there's a little suburb again, so that's the road we drove in on. So it actually took me like, over an hour to get to some of these. Like everything's so spread out, and there's one road for everything. And then just on the way back, this was one of the Casba's we drove past on the way back to the hotel. That's where all the rich people stayed, so we just drove by. And then this was interesting, actually. So this was they're doing some road construction on the bridge, so this is their little construction guy basically telling you, don't go this way, you're like coming around, so yeah, you build a scarecrow and you save money by doing that, so I thought that's not amazing. So the last day, September 22nd, we climbed in the left waterfall wall, so this is a very classic area, and I'm guessing after climbing it's probably just because it's pretty and waterfalls are running over it during half the year, and of course during this time they were not. We actually climbed where the waterfall was, so you can see like where the route goes up. I think this was something forget how many pitches it was supposed to be, and it ended up being a lot more. You can see where the white is. That's where the waterfall normally runs. So it's a climb called Above the Water, which connected to Occam's Razor. So their HVS 5A and Occam's Razor was GVS 5A. Whatever it was not what we seemed to be. It was hard. It was really, really hard. I'm not sure you can hear this video very well, but it looked close, but it actually turned out to be quite a hoof to get there, and jumping over boulders through little tiny cesspools here. I was a little sketched at this point. It was like, we had to climb through all these little jar things, and then this is where we were belaying, right above the little cesspool. And I was kind of like labyrinth, I was doing a little labyrinth thing. It's like I fought my way here beyond the Goblin City. I really felt like I had to like crap. So we set out for this climb really, really early because it was a really long climb. Yeah, so it was 400 meters plus. So we set out before 5 a.m. I think we got up. Yeah, we left around 4 something. It took a while to get there, and I fell asleep in the car and wasn't being a good navigator. Not that I know where I was going anyway. And turns out we made a detour, missed the turn, so we ended up going quite a ways in the opposite direction and had to turn around, go back, and then like I said, these roads are really, really small. So if you happen to meet anybody on it, like somebody's got to back up for a while. And we hit this band, and he refused to back up, and we refused to back up for a little while. Eventually, we started to, and that took another little while. But anyway, by the time we hiked up to this thing here, it was around 9 a.m. So starting this like 400 meter plus climb at 9 a.m. should have been an indication that it was going to be a long day. So this is what was left of the waterfall, and it was pretty gross, and didn't want the ropes to fall in there, didn't want to drop a shoe in there, so I was kind of trying to tie everything to myself as I'm belaying and doing a hanging belay so I don't have to stand down there. And so this is going up first climb of it. Again, I was glad James led it because it was a lot steeper than I was anticipating.
We are on waterfall something or other, which is a 3-star top 5 classic here on the north side of the Atlas. Jump route. 5 hours in. We are maybe halfway up. The rock has turned out to be quite steep, making the climbing pretty difficult. But
I was still happy at this point. Saying, oh, it's getting smaller, which means you're getting higher, and yeah, it was still sunny. Then the sun started chasing me, and that became less fun.
And let's do a waterfall. From here, these pools, through that drainage there, and into a pool on the other side, which you can go swimming in. But right now, it just kind of looks like a cesspool. So,
can't swim in it right now. Apparently, I guess that's what people do.
Back to the climb.
So yeah, like I said, I was still in a good mood at that point because we're climbing a 400 meter climb. That's cool, right? Yeah. So, and then the sun started chasing me, like I said, and that became less fun. So eventually I had to abandon the fleece. And I was pretty terrified at this point because it's kind of like a dihedral and pieces just, it's really dirty. Stuff's like pieces aren't holding, and I was pretty sure James was going to come off, but kudos to him, he did not. And there's the sun down. I'm becoming less pleased at this point because you can see how far we are up, and that's not even halfway at this point. So, this should be our last video.
So here we are, still on waterfall, what I hope to be the last pitch. We've been on this climb since just before 9, so my feet are on fire. The rock keeps breaking off in your hand, so I'm about done with this climb, I would say. The video is about the same, everything just keeps getting smaller, which means the walk-off keeps getting longer. At this rate, I don't expect to be back in Marrakesh until about midnight, and hopefully my Airbnb person will be awake still. Because we've been up since 3:45, and I'm really tired. So, anyway, that's me! So I gotta go. Bye-bye.
So that was not the last pitch. One of those false summits, because then you get into this and you're like, oh, there's all of that still. Like, he brings you up and then it's like, there's a little section where you can walk and you're like, can we just leave at this point? And then there's like, that last little steep section. It's like, okay. Yeah, so at this point it's almost 6 o'clock. Been on it since just before 9. He had called his partner in the UK and told him that we'd be down by around 3. So he had to try to break out the cell phone up there to let him know we weren't dead. So it's getting hot and getting kind of grumpy, but at this point we're almost finished. It was a relatively decent climb, but again, I don't know how the 3-star top 5 ended up, other than it's just one that's been climbed more often. But not to discourage you, there's a lot of good climbing out there, and like you're just climbing out there and you don't see anybody else, so it's really nice, really peaceful. But then you get the walk-offs with the goats and stuff. So any questions? And after that, I went and did 3 weeks of just being a tourist, riding camels, holding snakes, doing the things I do. So. All in all, it was a fun trip, and there's a lot more climbing there. There's actually some mountaineering, alpine stuff in the Atlas Mountains, so I kind of want to go back and do that, do some winter stuff. So they also, mountain people also do guiding for that as well. So if you're into alpine, if you're into climbing, there's a lot of good places out there in the Anti-Atlas and in the Atlas. So, any questions?
The twin ropes because of the rock fall?
Yeah, I think he was just more comfortable climbing with us because if there was any route finding, probably is my guess, because we were trying to interpret where the route was going, and just in case we couldn't, and yeah, the rock's falling off, I go over here now, and this and that, so.
Mostly English, UK inspired, or is it the French influence too?
I feel like this is mostly British inspired. I forget who wrote the guide, but I feel like he was British.
So all of them are walk-off?
Yeah.
Every single one? No repellent, sorry.
No, it's like that sagey, scratchy, scruffy bushes that the goats can only eat. Goat poop everywhere, and it's just like, when you get to big boulders, you're actually happy, so you're not like sliding down crap anymore. But yeah, so once we got to the top of that, it was like probably an hour walk off, and then we got lost in this labyrinth of rushy crap and trying to just like, just go straight, or see the car. And it was good, but I think I ended up getting back to Marrakesh around 1 a.m. So, yeah. It's a long day. It was a good 20 hours. So.
Did you ever take the Marrakesh Express?
We'll call it the Marrakesh Express. I rode it a lot from Casablanca to Marrakesh, from Marrakesh to Casablanca, and then one more time back to Marrakesh. Yeah. It was fun. It was actually a nice train compared to stuff in India, which is terrifying.
Questions? Any more? Okay, thanks very much. Okay, we got a couple items, few more items to cover. Let's see, other updates. no Edwin. I don't think we have any other access fund related issues. We already talked about the graffiti removal 30 September. Does anybody know if there's anything else happening with Carter Rock construction? Can I do that? Okay. All right. There was some discussion about another fall project, but I don't know anything about it now. Gearmeisters.
Yes. An interesting report. Bill talked about how we're going to do the food fitting and whatnot next meeting. I think I looked into another cook tent potentially, but I think I'll just wait until the sales come around Thanksgiving before we pick up something like that. I'll probably get up 250, 350, something like that.
I'm sorry, for a cook tent?
Yeah, so basically same as what we have now.
Okay.
It seems to be pretty good. I guess having another one would hurt.
Okay. Do all the people who are signed up for ASW, have they contacted you for reservations?
Only one person has contacted me so far. Her gear is reserved.
Who wants it? Me, of course. I can send an official email and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's nothing really special. Does anybody know, I think Alina, she's the one who did Everest.
Yeah.
She still owes us an ice axe. I've been trying to get her to return it to me, so if anybody knows her, the ice axe from her.
Dave does.
Dave knows her.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, but like just before Alpine Skills, it's probably nice to have that.
Why on earth is she borrowing an ice axe from us?
I thought the same question. Apparently it's because she shipped all her gear out to Everest and she needed one for like a training time.
Okay.
That's why I understand it.
All right. Let's see. Do we have anything? What's the count for the fall expedition? People? Yes. Which is the Red Rocks. I'm calling that the fall expedition to Las Vegas. Yeah.
Yes. 7.
Be sure to go on a 400-meter climb while you're down there and bivouac somewhere on it so that it can be an expedition.
I will do my very best to do that.
Do we have any training things coming up? Obviously, ASW is coming up.
ASW is it, yeah.
Okay. All right, Andy, did you have any comments about tools? If people want to come and do tools sharpening, should they bring their tools? Are you just going to demo? Do you want to put up requests for what people should bring for that?
If people want to bring their tools, that's cool. Yeah,
okay.
There's no reason not to. We have a flat file or a forehand or anything like that, or a basket file, any of that.
Right. What would the appropriate file type be?
Flat file and basket file, usually you can find those both. They're like one side will be a standard flat file where everything goes one way. The other side is a basket file with crisscross.
Okay.
And try to get one that's probably inch wide is fine. Inch wide or smaller if you want. And you can actually find like small files, which is kind of harder to come by, but like basically like the chainsaw type files, smaller ones, those are helpful as well. But you can do everything you need to do with the flat and basket. And bring your tools.
Right. Let's see. Anything on women's events? I think we're over for the season right now. Okay. Other motions. Well, we have nothing old business. We have 2 things to discuss under new business. I don't know whether we're going to make it a formal motion, but I want to be sure both of them get on the table tonight, at least for further discussion. One is I had a note about whether or not we would support some rebolting at Old Rag.
Edwin and Chris Irvin probably A, your best contacts on that, and B, will probably endeavor to take care of that this winter.
Okay.
I talked with Edwin quickly this evening, mentioned something about it, and he said that, yeah, it's something they were going to put on the list of stuff to do.
Is that a thing that MAC normally covers?
Not really. I think it's more of a Chris and Edwin thing.
Okay.
Edwin has some of the little specialty tools that you need if you're going to attempt to remove old bolts. I don't know how well I can do it with a wedge bolt. It's pretty intensive to try to pull one of those, but a lot of the other bolts you can pull.
Excuse me?
I need to be a bit careful here. About 7 or 8 years ago, the national park canvassed amongst the climbers. They did a survey and a whole bunch of stuff, and it led to publication of the Rock Outcrop Management Plan. And this is a published document which is why, for example, you can't climb on the north face of Watersville. It's off limits. It's an agreement. In particular, old rag is a rule of this area, and that means you can't just go and place poles. You can't necessarily replace poles. You actually have to consult with the park. And there's a theory of a climbers committee that supposedly exists to go through this process. So, if you don't want to jeopardize access to old rag, you need to be fairly careful about this. Now, there has been some illegal bulking that's gone on, regardless of this, but as a club, you should not be doing this.
I mean, Edwin's well aware of the Rock Outcrop Management Program, and he's been once consolidated comments, so.
But it's obviously not
they
one
should go through all that. And they both hand drill, so I mean, they both know, and that's what you have to do in the wilderness area, you have to hand drill, so, I'm moving it to them. I mean, in the Rock Outcrop Management Program also was, Graver a while back was advocating for the installation of bolts up at Stony Man because of trees and going across the trail and all that other stuff. I don't know whatever happened with that, but as far as I know, that program was allowing that if somebody deemed it necessary. But yeah, I still think you probably have to go through the process.
Right. My recollection was the ROM said that it was permissible to do so, but that there was some process of permission, and nobody's really taken it upon themselves to attempt to exercise it.
Or because they're just, to me anyway, it seemed like there wasn't a whole lot of necessity for it. There were places you could build gear anchors that seemed to work for everybody. And I don't climb out there enough to know, whether or not it's really needed.
So anyway, my view is that if some competent people who know what they're doing and are fully aware of the ROM want to engage in bolt replacement at Old Rag and were to approach us for some support to buy bolts, I think we ought to do it. I have no motion on the floor to do so, but that was my perspective on it.
Matt, for now, I'm going to go to Edwin and Chris with Mac and see what they want to do with it. They want to approach us for, I can both say that to them, if you guys want to approach the club for money for this, feel free to take it.
Yeah, okay. And the second thing is that we had a message from Neil who wanted to introduce a motion to make a $500 donation for similar purposes to the Smoke Hole Canyon Climbers Association, particularly for support of their efforts to develop climbing at Reed's Creek and related areas. Now I got this from Neil, not formally from Smoke Hole Climbers Association. So I guess my view, and Andy, you may want to put in what you know on this, is that I think it's a reasonable thing to entertain, but I think that it should come with somewhat more formality, like we ought to know who we're actually giving money to and what it's for and what their standing is and so on before we would say yes.
Yeah, I quickly replied, and that I wasn't really speaking on behalf of myself as a club member, or money goes to my membership and stuff like that. But no, I mean, it's essentially what I said to Neil. I was asking him, well, are you acting here as an official representative from that climbing association? Is this climbing association an LLC now, or are they a nonprofit? What's the deal with them? Where does Mr. Gray fall into this whole discussion? Is Mike part of this? And so a little more clarification on that. I also said, maybe a better way to approach it would be for the club to purchase the bolts through the Fixie account that we have. You can get stuff at wholesale price and then provide them with bolts. Something along that line.
Which sounds reasonable to me as well.
Yeah. But then we have to have, what are we getting? Is there some strings of some kind that, hey, the people out there that haven't been there before, something like that. There's got to be some way to, ensure that the bolts go wherever that they're saying. So I would still leave it to the Neil to introduce this and get some more clarification before.
All right. Comments from everybody else? I don't know how many people have climbed at Reed's Creek. Quite a few. So we use it. Is it worth supporting?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's like the only makers sport area within striking distance. It's all just safe harbor, but I think oh yeah. I mean, I'm consolidating Franklin and Reed's Creek and all that as
Yeah,
well.
but there's a key difference. Franklin's on private land, and that's what I was leading to, a number of issues in the past, and when the access fund particularly has been over, and it's leading to a lot of nursing and right, because it was on private land, and no one's because of that reason. One thing you should hear is, what's the legal status of the land for Reed's Creek? If it's public land, like national park, it's absolutely, if it's private land.
Yeah, that's another good point. Yeah, 'cause Franklin, they got to open the trespassing sign. Guys, for some reason, think that I put the trespassing sign that absolves me of any liability when there's really not a liability issue here to begin with, but they just don't want to sit down and talk. I know Edmund's made a lot of attempts to communicate with the landowners and crickets. Because they would love to do an actual trail work day there to do some, because the trail or the road going in there is pretty bad. But if you could get, with the landowners, you could probably get a lot of really good stuff done and improve the access immensely. But as it is, it's huge friggin' potholes and stuff, and some of them are serious firefalls.
The thing is, I know when we took the access fund about some years ago, that the access fund approached the landowners to try to come across and they're not interested.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah. They kind of like look the other way as far as
Yeah.
climbers going out there,
As long as nobody kills himself,
yeah.
probably okay.
Yeah. But they
Major accident,
yeah,
one
exactly.
different story.
They're like, we're not saying don't go out there, but we're not giving you our permission either. It's ridiculous.
All right. So I think it sounds like so Reed's Creek sounds like it's an area of interest to us and we would have interest in supporting work there, but that we need some greater clarification and options. It's fine. I'll talk to you about that. Any other business to be brought before the group? All right. I think some people are going down to eat Vietnamese food or going somewhere afterwards or eat pizza, so have at it.
One quick thing, Mark. Dave asked if we just put all the chairs in the ball.
In the where?
There's a closet right next to the here, so when people are walking out.